Hey everyone, happy summer. It is summer solstice yesterday. Who enjoyed being outside? I sure did. Oh my gosh, it was so beautiful. If you're here, hello, I'd love to see you. And there is a link in this post that you must click for me to be able to see your name. But I would love if you could click that really quickly and then just put in the comments where you're watching from. I would love to see that. I am just so grateful to be here, and I just want to thank you all again. This would not be happening without you being here. And what do I mean by this? I mean the Profit for Joy movement. This is a movement where we are no longer accepting the status quo on what we're given in terms of financial education and empowerment. Money is not complicated. Now, the ego has made it super complicated. The industry has made it super complicated to really, truly put you in a place of disempowerment, to be in a position where you feel that you need to depend on someone else to understand your numbers, or you need to depend on someone else to understand money. And I'm here to tell you that is not the case. Now, my name is Amber Duggar. If you are new here, welcome. I am the founder of Profit for Keeps, and my mission is to eradicate financial anxiety and overwhelm. It is truly an honor to be here, and I wanted to come in today to talk about the difference between profit and owner's pay. So now, if anyone's here, I would love for you to see. I see that you guys are here. I just can't see your comments. I would love to see if someone at least could click it so I could see that you guys can hear me and that everything is working out. Tech is not my favorite thing, but we manage, right? So while you guys are doing that, I'm going to get into the question. Thanks so much. Roanoke. Okay, I was in Fairfax, Virginia for a long time. I don't see your name, unfortunately, because I think you need to click the link in order for me to see that, but that's okay. So what is profit and what is owner's pay? Well, does anyone want to take a stab? You want to guess, what do you think the difference is between profit and owner's pay? You can go ahead and put that in the comments. And if you're watching the replay, make sure to put hashtag replay and then make an estimate. Even if you are watching the replay, consider pausing it for a second and asking yourself, what is the difference? What's the difference between profit and owner's pay? And if you don't know, simply just say, I'm not sure. That's fine too. Alexandra asked this question last week in our community, Profit for or Sweet Life Purposeful Money. So shout out to Alexandra Lynn. Thank you for the question. And she said, I'm sure this has already been answered, but what is the difference? So someone came in, one of our longtime members, Gianna. So she gave an explanation of what it is. And I'm going to go a little bit deeper into this. So traditionally in business, profit is really just everything after expenses. And it's a dangerous way of looking at money. And when I say dangerous, I mean it doesn't allow you to really think about all the other things you want money to go for. For example, you want to be able to pay yourself, you want to pay your personal taxes, you want to be able to pay your business expenses without having all of the money go out the door. You want to have some savings in your business. So if you have to endure some time where money isn't coming in as regularly, you're able to still pay for all of your expenses. Hey, Paula. Oh, great. Okay, I can see your name. Wonderful. Thank you for clicking the link. So traditionally, profit is defined as revenue minus expenses. Okay, but unfortunately, that gets us in a lot of trouble. And my very good friend, Ryan Barrett, and longtime client, has said to me over and over, QuickBooks lies. What does he mean by that? Well, he was looking at the number that was attached to his quote profit number in QuickBooks because it was simply showing his revenue in minus his expenses and what was left over. But we have a lot to pay with that when it comes to profit. So with profit first, profit is defined differently. So instead of it being just the leftovers, whatever's left over after revenue minus expenses, instead it's an intentional piece of revenue. So I want you to write this down. I want you to write down revenue minus profit equals business expenses. Revenue minus profit equals business expenses. So in other words, when you put profit to the side as an intentional separate pile, then whatever's left over, we have for other expenses. Okay, so instead of it being an afterthought, it's something that we think of first. And that's really where the term profit first comes from. So, who here has implemented profit first or profit for keeps? I know Paula has. I know Gianna, who was answering Alexandra's question, has. We have many people that have been using profit for keeps. And the way that profit works in profit for keeps is that we have revenue broken down into not just one or two categories, but many categories. But here are the overarching categories. There's profit, owner's pay, taxes, and business expenses. So again, what's the difference between profit and owner's pay? Well, if you think about it, when you have your revenue coming in, you want it to cover paying yourself, you want it to cover your personal taxes, and you want it to cover your business expenses. And you also want to have intentional accumulation of money in the bank, which is profit. So when you think about it from that perspective, profit is more like an amount that allows you to increase the buffer or the cash in your business without affecting other areas of the business and while still being able to consistently pay yourself. So owner's pay is when you are actually paying yourself a paycheck. So if you've ever gone through one of our master classes or one of our challenges or gone through Profit for Keeps, you know intimately that we have a way to reverse engineer a revenue goal that allows you to see how much you need to make in order to pay yourself a certain amount of money in order to have enough money for the business expenses that align with your business model. And then we still are putting aside money for personal taxes, and we're still putting aside money for intentional profit. So to answer Alexandra's question, profit is really considered an intentional accumulation of cash to help you build a savings buffer in your business and also to be able to celebrate the profitability of the business with the owner, yourself. And that's through profit distributions. So I'm just going to quickly look. So Paula says, do you ever spend your profit? Mine's been accruing for a while now. It's getting to be a big pile. How amazing is that? So Paula's been using Profit for Keeps for a while, and she has a big pile of cash in her bank. Can you believe that? And then Becca says, this profit stuff changed everything for me. Woohoo! I'm so excited for you, Becca. I'm telling you, I get chills when I hear this, because when you are stepping into an empowered place with your money and understand where it's going and understand how to organize it, it's a game changer, complete game changer. So Paula, do I ever spend my profit? Yes, I do. Now, what I don't spend is the profit vault. So we're going to get into that in a second. I'm going to explain the difference. So right now we have two things. We have profit that is accumulating every quarter. And so if you're using the Profit for Keeps framework, you know that every single time you make money, you're putting a certain amount into your profit line using your calculator and using YNAB. At the end of the quarter, which by the way, it's coming up, June 30th. So when is that? It's going to be next Friday. So next Friday is the end of the quarter. So what we're going to do is at the end of the quarter, you have a certain amount piled up from the quarter. So let's say you have $4,000 in that line that's been accumulating because every single deposit you're putting 5% or 10%, whatever your calculator is suggesting for you into that line. And so it's accumulating, as Paula said. Well, then at the end of the quarter, you're going to take half of that profit, and so that's $2,000. 4,000 minus $2,000 is half of it. 2,000 is going to go into what's called a profit vault account or profit vault line, and that is going to accumulate. You don't touch that amount. Okay? But the second $2,000 or the other half is going to go to a profit distribution line, and that is to celebrate the owner. So you can take that $2,000 and transfer it over to your personal and have it be a bonus as a way to celebrate that you have this $2,000. What are you going to do with it? It could go towards your Profit for Joy foundations if you've gone through the program. That's the 2 months of personal expenses and then paying down any blessings already received or debt. Kate Northrup calls it blessings already received, which I love. And then after that, another 4 to 10 months of expenses can accumulate. If you've already done that, you can put it towards your first Profit for Joy goal. Now, to answer Paula's question, the original Profit Vault doesn't always remain untouched. Here's the specifics around that, Paula. So the first goal is to get it to accumulate a minimum of 3 months of business expenses. So if your business expenses are $5,000 a month, you want to have a minimum of $15,000 in that profit vault line. Okay. Once you get to that 3 months, you have the option of taking off the top of that to do another expansion. So for example, I did have that go past the 3 months. And so I got to a point where I had, I think, $25,000 more in that line than my 3 months. And I came across an opportunity to work in a 12-month mastermind that was, you saved a ton of money if you paid in full. And I knew that it would advance my ability to reach more people and to understand more about, online business and strategy and things like that. So I decided to take that additional amount from the profit vault and put it towards the pay in full of that mastermind. That was an expansion for my particular business model. You may have a brick and mortar and you want to open a second one. You can take from that profit vault account to expand to another location. It allows you to do lots of different things that you may not have known exactly what you were saving for, but when you find it and you know this is going to move your business forward and to expand your reach and to expand your movement, you can use that. But I definitely wouldn't recommend dipping further into it where you don't have that 3 months of business expenses. And some people like to have up to 6 months. So it's really up to you what you prefer. But that's a great question, Paula. Thanks for asking that. Woohoo, you have that, Paula. That's amazing. Can we all just celebrate Paula for a second? Paula, when did you implement Profit for Keeps? Remind me when you implemented that, because that's amazing that you have that done. That's so, so great. Hey, Christy, I'm so glad that you're here. I would love to answer anyone's questions while we're here, so that on Profit or Profit First, anything that's coming up. And what I'd also love is if you're watching the replay, put some questions down. I love answering questions. I love answering what you're really looking to understand. And as you know, we go in here weekly to do these Facebook Lives to connect with you and to connect with the community. So Becca's asking, how about saving for owner's pay? Okay. I don't know why that looks so funny, but I'll try to put it up here. Okay. So how about saving for extra owner's pay? It's a great question. So what we teach in Profit for Keeps, and we're going to be doing more master classes in September, Becca. So we're going to go into more detail again on how that works. But essentially, with any online business or any business in general, we don't typically have consistent sales unless we've scaled to 7 or 8 figures. And at that point, we have a lot of systems in place and there's more consistent revenue. But when you're in the building stage of business up to 7 figures, your revenue can be very inconsistent. We can have a big launch and have a lot of money and then have no money, or we can have a few clients and then have less clients and then more clients. And it's like, how the heck do I pay myself consistently when I have, all this money coming in this month, but then none the next month, and I'm not sure how to manage it. Well, the biggest thing is deciding ahead of time how much you would like to pay yourself monthly. And so we go into this in detail in our master classes, but essentially you're listing all of your expenses that you want to cover with business revenue in your personal and business sides, okay? Then you reverse engineer the revenue goal. And so you're able to determine, let's say that you want to pay yourself $5,000 a month, okay? So if you pay yourself $5,000 a month, but this month you made more than your revenue goal, and let's say you have $9,000 sitting in your owner's pay, you still pay yourself the $5,000. So that $4,000 remains in that savings line for owner's pay. So the next month, if you don't make as much money, you're able to still most likely pay yourself another $5,000. So you can bring in some money, more money comes into the owner's line, and let's say you have $7,000 in there now, you can still pay yourself the $5,000. So I definitely recommend choosing and honoring that number until you build up enough of a buffer where you can start to rerun another revenue goal to perhaps increase the monthly amount that you're paying yourself. So that's a really great question. Thanks for asking that. Okay, so I just wanted to come in and make sure that it was really clear what the difference was between profit and owner's pay. So I hope you have a better understanding now of what that is. So in our framework, Profit for Keeps, profit is an intentional savings amount that helps you build up a buffer for when things are lean. Or, for example, in 2020, a lot of my clients ended up using their profit vault to help keep things running smoothly. And they had 6 months of running smoothly before they were even really having to look at doing any sort of changes. So it's really, really great for just settling the nervous system and having more of a buffer to be able to handle these unknowns that we have. Hey, Laura. Laura is one of our founding members of our new membership, Profit for Keeps Elevated. I'm so excited, Laura, to have you. Okay, so Christy is asking, my question is, when is the self-study open again? Myself and my sister-in-law are planning on it. She does a cash flow and finance for her husband's professional corporation as a doctor. I thought Profit for Keeps would be helpful. Yeah, absolutely. That would be super helpful. We've had lots of physicians and naturopaths go through our program. Christy, so we will be opening it again in September of this year. So our master classes will be earlier in September, and then we will be opening it up mid-September. So love that, and I can't wait to invite you in. Hey, Joe, so nice to see you. So how do you access the master classes? We will be sending out more information, Joe, but because you are a founding member of Profit for Keeps Elevated, we can always get you a copy once we open up that membership in August. So, but those master classes, we will be doing them in September. I'm super excited to do them again. It's just so much fun. There's so much energy. And so what I'd love for everyone to do is start spreading the word, because we will definitely be doing a lot of fun extra things during that as well. Woohoo! I love that you're in Relax Bunny now, Christy. Kate is amazing, and that is such an incredible program that complements what we do in Profit for Keeps. Kate and I have actually gone back and forth on Voxer so much, just so grateful for being able to serve in this way, and she really helps create such a beautiful space for you to then have the capacity to take in some of this more system and framework from a place where you can really implement and then start to embrace it holistically from both the masculine and feminine sides. So I'm super excited. Yes, the timing is definitely going to be perfect. Okay, everyone, I am so happy to have been able to see you all here today. I will be here again next week live. And so if you are wanting a specific topic to be covered, or if you have something that you want to ask me personally, put it in the comments below. I will be checking and seeing, and we will choose something based on that. All right, everybody, I hope you have a wonderful start to your summer. Tomorrow I will be at the pool. So I hope you all have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. All right, bye, everyone.